All right, let's get into it. Today we're talking about installing an AURUS condenser. But look, this isn't going to be your average setup guide. We're going to break down what it takes to do a truly professional installation. You know, the kind where every single detail matters. And this quote right here, it says it all. You're not just bolting a piece of equipment down, you are literally securing the heart of the entire HVAC system. Getting it right from the very beginning means you're guaranteeing this unit has a long, happy life and runs at the peak energy efficiency it was designed for. So everything starts with a solid foundation. The first phase is all about location and placement. You really have to think of this condenser like it needs to breathe, because if it can't breathe, it can't do its job. It's that simple. Proper airflow is absolutely the bedrock of great heat exchange. Now, the rules for where to put this thing are pretty straightforward, but they are so critical. You want to avoid any enclosed spaces where that hot exhaust air can just get trapped and sucked right back in. And hey, while you can't always avoid the sun, if you can find a spot with a little shade, that'll help the unit run cooler and way more efficiently from day one. This brings us to what I call the golden rule: clearances. And let me be clear, these are not just suggestions, they are non-negotiable requirements. You need them for proper airflow, for heat dissipation, and trust me, you'll want them for easy access when it's time for service. Okay, let's start with the sides of the unit. You need a minimum of 12 inches of clear space. This lets all that cool air get pulled into the coil without any restriction. At the rear of the unit, we're looking for a solid 15 inches. Again, this is all about making sure there's absolutely nothing in the way of the air flowing into that coil. Now for the most critical one, the front. You need 79 inches of completely unobstructed space. Why so much? Well, this is where the fan blasts out all the hot air. If that flow gets blocked, that hot air just gets recycled right back into the system, and your efficiency just completely tanks. Now, for the foundation itself, here's something to remember. A level unit is a quiet unit. You basically got two main options here. You can use a solid concrete pad for ground installations, or you could go with heavy-duty wall brackets. But if you do use brackets, you have to verify they can handle the unit's weight. And here's a pro tip that should just be standard practice on every single job. Always use anti-vibration pads. Yeah, they quiet the system down, but more importantly, they absorb the compressor's vibrations that can stress and eventually crack the copper piping. It's a cheap part that prevents an expensive problem. Okay, with the unit perfectly placed and supported, it's time to get into the real technical part of the installation, connecting the refrigerant lines and the electrical. First up, let's identify our refrigerant lines. It's pretty simple. You've got the liquid line, that's the thinner pipe, and then you have the suction line, which is the thicker, insulated one that brings the gas back to the compressor. When you're tightening the flare nuts on these lines, there is one absolute rule. Don't guess. Use a torque wrench. Tighten them to the exact specifications in the manual. This is your single best defense against those tiny, performance-robbing refrigerant micro-leaks that can pop up later. Now for the power. You have to be precise with electrical connections. Number 1. Follow the wiring diagram to the letter. Number 2, use your multimeter to verify you have the correct voltage before you flip the power on. And number 3, that physical ground connection, it's not optional. It is absolutely essential for safety. And now, we've arrived at what I believe is the single most important procedure in any HVAC installation. This is the step that truly separates a quality professional job from all the rest: pulling a proper system vacuum. So what is it? What's the one thing that really separates the true professionals from the amateurs? It's this step. Pulling a vacuum isn't just about checking for leaks. It's about literally boiling off and removing every last bit of moisture and air, what we call non-condensables, from inside the lines. And the target you're shooting for is this: a deep vacuum of 250 microns or lower. A micron is a microscopic measure of pressure, and getting the system down this low is the only way to guarantee the refrigerant stays pure. It prevents corrosive acids and sludge from forming and killing the system from the inside out. With the vacuum confirmed and holding steady, it is time for the fun part: commissioning the system. We are ready to release the refrigerant and bring this unit to life. The sequence here is really important. So first, with the system still off, you slowly open the suction or low pressure valve. Then you open the liquid or high pressure valve. That releases the factory refrigerant charge. Now you can power the unit on. The second it kicks on, you start monitoring its vital signs. Check your pressures, your temperature split, your amp draw, and just listen for any weird sounds or vibrations. And finally, before you pack up your tools, do a final review. This is where you double-check everything for leaks one last time, you secure all your piping and wiring with zip ties, and you wipe the unit down. Come on, a clean, tidy installation is the best business card you can possibly leave behind. So, I'll just leave you with this final question. When you install a premium system like an AURUS, does your workmanship actually reflect that same level of quality? Well, after going through all these steps, the answer should be an absolute definite yes.